Bare Bones Radio Broadcasting. Norman Woodstock Spalding, Bare Bones Radio Broadcasting. The entertainment's on you. Well, but see, it'd be better if you didn't see my face. Then I go to Bare Bones Radio Broadcasting, Norman Woodstock Spalding, and it'd look a lot better if you didn't see my face. Wouldn't it? My voice would look better in your mind. You'd see me better. You did not see my face. You know what you think of me right now? Oh my God. I'd look like Godzilla. Well, once I let you see my face, that's why talk radio does not let you see your... Wait, just a minute. Hello? How are you? Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Get out of town! But I just got... Get out! Get out! That's not even the voice. Stop it! I'm hanging up. That was Big Brother doing that. Rambling and rambling. Was not? What was that? Puka. That was you. You know, Puka reminds me of Chewbacca. Or whatever that big thing is in Star Wars, whatever. Maybe I got the wrong name. I get these names mixed up, you know me. I always get names mixed up. Cha-cha-cha, name. I'm a name mixed up guy. Very mixed up name. Oh, here, this one's done. I'm going to close this one and upload another. La la bidia bullshit la donkey. Donkey. Well, I had something to remind you of, and then I forget. After I do the introduction, sometimes I just forget all about why I came to remind you of something. I like to remind humanity. I'm reminded myself. So, look, I'm passing on what reminds me. They're just flashes of reminding, and I pass on my flashes of reminding. My reminding of the flashes, you know. And I pass them on, I pass them on, I pass on my flashes of reminding. And they remind me and remind you, remind me and remind you, remind me and remind you. Remind me and remind you, remind me and remind. I'll always get and remind. I'll remind this flash of light, remind that flash of light. I come and remind you, you know. Flashing, reminding and reminding and reminding, and I come and remind you, you. My kind, I remind you when the flash they remind me. And I come and share my flashes with you. I think I could be Flash Gordon. You think? No, I'm Norman after Norman Mailer. Norman Woodstock Spalding. Norman Mailer had flashes. And this talk show host named Rick Miller was really not a very bright man. He's... I wish I could see his face when I remind him of you. You know, Rick, you're not very bright. This would be a wonderful pose. I'd like to have the camera right now and tell Mr. Miller he's not very bright. This would be exciting, unless he's passed away. So I lost track of where he's at. I've begged, and his name originally wasn't Rick Miller. I don't know. It was a nickname like my Norman name is. Very Nick. All names are nicknames, though. My God-given name is Norman name. Is that a God? Hell no. It's my mother's dumb idea of stupidity, and the term is very degrading. I don't when I use it, they always spit in my face, don't they? So, no, that's not why I use it. That's not. It's not why I don't. I don't even know why I don't use it. I could broadcast under that name, only it's... You know, a lot of people don't broadcast under they don't entertain. You know, that's not the real name. You say, oh, I like Burt Reynolds. Well, that's not his name, more likely. Burt Reynolds is not really Burt Reynolds. Not really the way you put the word really. Well, he is Burt Reynolds. Of course he's Burt Reynolds. He's been Burt Reynolds so many times, he's more Burt Reynolds than not Burt Reynolds. Probably been on stage as Burt Reynolds more than he ever was. In his mind, he's Burt Reynolds, and all the time he's Burt Reynolds, or is it his name? No. And once you get into entertainment, you're always that character. I am. Once I got started, and believe me, the character grabbed me. I'm not the old character at all anymore. I've been doing it for 40 years. Well, what I find out that the character of this act or stage, and it's not an act at all. In fact, I acted more under the so-called God-given name. I was more acting there. This is more genuine. that character is really the God-given character that the name wasn't allowed to experience. So you're seeing more of my God-given character that everyone sawing that name spit straight in the face of. I never got to do anything but wear a mask at all. And but, wear a mask. And Billy Butt Bay, all the thing got to do with but. That's all I ever heard was but. To everything that so-called God-given name ever said, they responded but. Now with this character Norman, that usually Norman takes their butts and reminds them they're not so. Now that is still the God-given character. There's no but. Only it's just a deliverance to God-given character seldom got to do and doesn't have much practice at where Norman does. Getting to do the real God-given character where the God-given character's name didn't. And had very little practice at it. That's for sure. So, Norman Atcha, Woodstock Spaulding. All three names are significant to a reality about me that I don't know a thing about. And you get it off the top of my head, and I live it. Mm-hmm. Like a recording, long before Stars and Planets, this experience interrogates something a voice, an experience, a flash. That's all my whole experience is a flash, billions of them. And I'll bring those billions of flashes to you, and that's all I'll be here is a flash. And really, when you look at it, you're less than that. There's no way human life is here long enough to flash at all, is it? When you compare yourself to a cosmos, you aren't here at all, were you? Did you ever get to experience you? It's over so quick. Even if you're weaned to the best of it. Even if you're sultan, which is a very prepared human being. A sultan, I'd like to have the training. I'd like to go through the preparation that a sultan got to go through. Now that's hands-on. Mm-hmm. Without fondling you. That's Michael Jackson, and people kept their hands and minds to themselves instead of what happened to Michael Jackson. There are other people kept their minds and hands all over him. Poor Michael Jackson. Shame on humanity to have anything yet respect for that. Poor experience. Damn people to do that to someone. Damn them. Man. Nevertheless, we better get this uploaded. Don't you think? Do you think? Norman Woodstock Spaulding reminding you there's time for none of the above on the ballot and getting the mask off the conversation of wit. That the tactics at the polls have put more mask over that mask. I think the best you're going to get is a mask conversation, at least. It's far more candid than the one you're getting now. There's no candid preceding any election at all. And no candidate as a result. So you've got to do something about that step by step. And you'll start with a conversation and none of the above for president and mayor. Get out, get a consensus, and get it on your ballot. Move. Door to door. Get acquainted. You're more like each other than you realize. That's the Passover blood. Instead of letting a lamb do it, you do it. Knock on each other's door till your knuckles bleed. Be very kind and patient. Get acquainted. Do you want none of the above or not? Put a consensus together. Get it on your ballot. Legally, technically, officially. Everyone shall like that. 6 elections, then you can let them run against each other again. Otherwise, don't. Let them make all run against no. Get it going.